Page 136, Monday, 17th of November, 1975, 15:55. 10th recommendation. You shall not desire in avariciousness for material treasures and the possessions of the ones next to you. Within this recommendation it is explained and shown to you, human being of the earth, that you shall feel content with all that which you possess, as per how this corresponds to your given circumstances. You shall always be thankful in every manner for that which is given to you. From the creation itself you receive all essentials and necessities when you integrate yourself with its recommendations and follow them. In addition, you may gather treasures, goods, and chattels in material values, through which you are able to help yourself and the ones next to you. However, do not amass treasures of material values according to the sense of any avarice, so you accumulate treasures out of greed and profligacy, out of stinginess and imperiousness, whereupon you consider yourself mighty and only live for the aggrandizement of a pathological craving for possessions and might. Keep your desire for material values within the framework of the normality, as how the creation instructs it to you through the occurrences in the nature. Namely, within it you recognize that no life form at all amasses more material goods than it needs, according to its life. Your desire for material treasures, for goods and chattels, shall always remain within the framework of the rational, through which you will be helpful to yourself and all those brought near to you. Hence your desires shall always remain pure, while you strive to never and never draw comparisons with the material circumstances of others, who maybe are situated in more favorable circumstances than you yourself. Thereby you never initiate desires within your thinking which cannot be brought into agreement with this recommendation, and which fill you with envy. It is your duty to be glad about this, that the value of this recommendation is now known to you, and you are able to establish yourself accordingly. As you, human being of the earth, are able to gather material goods for yourself, you should know that your material treasures are not to be regarded as lasting possessions for you, because as you depart from here, from this side to the other side, you leave everything material behind you, and you are not able to take along one iota of your material treasures there. Hence, you shall not desire after more goods in the material than is necessary for your life. However, if you are capable of amassing great material treasures, then do not practice usury therewith, but rather use your ability in order to build allowable interest proceeds from it, through which you shall alleviate hardship and misery of the less well-off. Therefore, if you are rich in material treasures, bring these into application for the alleviation of hardship and misery of your fellow life forms. However, utilize your treasures also in the best form thereby, that you bring them into use for the expansion and recognition of the truth. Herein be striving to do the same as the creation, which, through its richness bestowed and offered to all life forms, confirms that anchored within all of its things are the laws and recommendations, which serve for the recognition of the truth and for its following. And as the creation thus accomplishes this, human being of the earth, you shall emulate it and do the same as it. Use the form of your material treasures in predetermined portions towards the alleviation of hardship and misery. However, use other predetermined portions for the dissemination of the truth about the creation and all its concerns, by you instructing or allowing instruction of those life forms brought near to you through the utilization of your material treasures. If you do not follow this recommendation, however, then you will obstruct your way and must one day realize that you have covered yourself with ignominy and shame, and that you have not used your material treasures according to their determination. You will then be helpless to stand there alone, just as helpless as all those whom you have denied your help. Thus they were not in a position to evolve themselves in appropriate form, because you have let them hunger and thirst in spirit or material consciousness and the body. Behold, human beings of the earth, pay attention herein to your prophets, who are again and again brought near to you, because again and again they set an example for you in the following of this recommendation. They gave the last possible thing to you, often and often, even their lives, in order to be helpful to you and to instruct you in the truth and love of the creation and of the being. Often and often they lived in want, in this manner, in hardship and pain, surrounding their corporeal well-being. Often and often it was so, and thus it has been retained to the present time, for even today your prophets still live in want, in hardship and pain, and have fewer possessions for the corporeal well-being than those whom you call beggars. Selfless, however, as your prophets have been since time immemorial, they do not weep over their lot, but rather perform their difficult mission with joyful courage. Never and never do they demand for pity and help, even though they bring the most worthful values of the life to you. They are selfless and give on, and never do they demand for compensation, reward in return. Take them as an example for yourself and recognize from their doings the values of the recommendations. They instruct you in the most valuable things and demand no reward in return. They give to you and live in want, suffer, hardship, and pain, because to them the truth and love of the creation have come to the fulfillment, through which they give to you, human being of the earth, love and instruct you in the truth. However, you thank them for it by the fact that you let them live in want, and moreover doubt that which is offered to you, and often curse them as lies. Behold, human being of the earth, according to your sense, the form of the riches on earth are of a material nature. However, truly, it lies in the spirit. Therefore, do not think highly of the great material values, but rather of the unmeasurable treasures of the spirit, which, in following of the creational truth, love, and wisdom, and in the knowledge, remains your all great timely everlasting good. Behold, in this form, even the life form, poor in the material life, becomes rich and prosperous through the love of the creation. This form is also the reward of your prophets, whom you let live in want, in hardship and pain, while you have at your disposal everything in fullness. Rewardless, they bring you the truth and the love. Do not demand for thanks and love from you, nor for goods and chattels. Therefore become the same as them, and live by their example, for as you follow them, you will embrace love and truth. Do the same as them, human being of the earth, and do not look in desire after the goods and chattels of the ones next to you, because as you desire for the possessions of the ones next to you, you create unsatisfaction and greed within you. Therefore, content yourself with appropriate possessions, as these are given to you through your circumstances, and look after everything with a sense of the love and of the truth, in duty fulfillment of the laws and recommendations revealed to you. Human being of the earth, heed, honor, and follow each one of these recommendations offered to you. Thus also this, quote, you shall not desire in avariciousness for material treasures and the possessions of the ones next to you. Remain at all times within the realms of the equality and the unity which are given by the creation. Therefore, they may also therein manifest themselves in love and truth. Behold, in this form the desire of the creation is within love, through which your desire for material possessions becomes pointless. If you follow the fulfillment of this recommendation, then you will realize that you, in your material poverty are very rich, because for you, truth, knowledge, love, and wisdom are spiritual treasures of all great timely duration. However, if you do not follow the recommendation, then you wander about in spiritual or consciousness-based impenetrable darkness and spiritual or consciousness-based poverty, for you find yourself in the realm of the transitory pseudo-values and pseudo-treasures, distant and foreign to all love, truth, wisdom, and the knowledge, since no help, no understanding, and no light will be granted to you. This human being of the earth is instructed to you, through me, in us, and through your prophet. So you increase in love and wisdom, and in the knowledge and the truth, in order to escape the impenetrable darkness of your spiritual or consciousness-based poverty. Thus you become the helping and nourishing bread to yourself and all those brought near to you. As you now know the recommendation, you should integrate it in its entire fullness of love and be thankful to the creation that you are instructed therein. Behold, recognize, as well, the sense of the revealed love within this recommendation, which says to you that the creation has created you in love, so you therefore also beget love towards it in turn. Clasp yourself within it at all times in comprehending trust, in order that you integrate its understanding of love and its life of love within you, on and on, through the words given to you, and all revelations in visible and invisible form, whereby you grow in your knowledge about the truth and love of the creation, as it will be ever more conscious to you who and what creation was, is, and will be. Then you are knowing where you belong for all great times, and you will be able to knowingly explain, quote, I am there where the creation is, and what is its own is also belonging to me, because the creation is within me, and I myself am within the creation. However, this you are then only able to know when the true creation love has become alive within you, which you up until now, O human being of the earth, have cursed and rejected, even though it was given and instructed to you on and on, since time immemorial. All life forms, just as they all are, rich or poor, large or small, assimilate the love of the creation within themselves at all times, thus you as well, human being of the earth. Every single breath that you exert, by day or by night, is imbued with creational love and truth. Were this not so, not even one single living creation could exist for even only the fractional part of a smallest unit of time. Although you have been instructed about this for a long time, however, human being of the earth, only few of you recognize and acknowledge this truth. You curse the origin and the existence of the creation, and go your own way, upon which you walk along very far removed from the laws and recommendations of the creation. Thus it was, often and often, since time immemorial. Thus it was for all time. Thus, however, it still is today, and thus it will remain for so long until even the smallest of the creational laws and recommendations are fulfilled in the knowledge, in the truth, in wisdom, and love. For this reason, their recommendations, their values, and their explanations and instructions are given to you often and often, again in a new form, thus also once more in the present time, so that you, human being of the earth, may recognize the truth, which is predestined and created from the love, and which exerts its presence in all recommendations at all times, which exactly for this reason also contains in itself its all great timely good, that you seek to fulfill from now on, the self-same, down to the smallest detail, in honest recognition, acknowledgement, and love in the knowledge, in order to thereby create, and let the light of the creation emerge as spiritual revitalization for yourself and all life forms, searching for the creational truth in order to move themselves into its brilliance on the path of the Enlightenment.